What's up, guys? We're back, and it's time for more Katawa Shoujo, and we are going to blow through everything we've already seen before, because the goal is to get it on with Hanako. TLDR, we had a heart attack, we're in the hospital, my sensitive heart, I hate these school with all these cripples, look at this weird guy. Introduce myself to class, let's go with why. Do I have to? Of course not, that's why I asked. Right, let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest and it keeps me thinking about my condition. Yeah. Okay, this is the same. Get a grip, this is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. I follow the teacher into the classroom, look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gaze of my new classmates. Waifu here. Don't care. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high. Students' desks. I stopped walking in front of the classroom. You just want Hanako so we can get Katsu in on this. Yeah, but I mean, like, but we could have done Lily for Solaris. They're all cripples. A lot of them. A bunch of useless nobodies. Hey, you can see a little bit of her butt. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking to you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway when he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair. That's pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if that will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers in the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Oh god, that guy. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language. Janice, you know what kind of hand motions she's making?
No. I can't see.
He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except for one girl who has only one hand. She just waves. The teacher soon realizes that she should probably be a pirate. Nobody seems too interested. Me, I should have said yes to the self-introduction thing. Probably realizing he doesn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again and asks me to write it on the blackboard. I do that, turn back to face the class, feeling awkward. I listen to the teacher as he drones on about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. Except for the girl with one hand. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. Oh, she does clap. This makes me feel a little bad. I think I said that the first time we played this through. Group work. Okay. This is all familiar. We're back on the same thing. Ah, new stuff. Misha looks at me with a weird expression, then continues. We don't know much about him, but maybe we'll find out later. Maybe I should have introduced myself after all. The second time the game's telling us to introduce ourselves. We knew there was gonna be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today so soon, Hit-chan, right? Hit-chan? Yep, fits, doesn't it? Don't take it the wrong way. I hate when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Whoa. Another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune. Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, Shizune. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly. So I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. She is all business, though. Alright, let's do the homework. Cool. Alright, do the homework. Redo the homework. We finish the homework, turn it in. We go to lunch. Cafeteria, I sit with them. Should I... Okay, like, a quick question to chat. Do you guys think I should just skip over old text, or should I just reread everything at this point? I think we're getting close to the point where I'll have, like, new text anyways. Okay. Let's... We're going for Hanako, so let's ask about the library. To the library. Because clearly that... Oh, we're definitely skipping anytime we see Kenji on the screen. I definitely do not need Kenji on the screen. I'm glad that the skip automatically stops and we get new dialogue that we haven't seen before. That's really nice. Good stuff. Oh man, there was a lot of text that we went through. Oh, I forgot how much text there was in between the options. Okay, here's where we choose to defend. No, attack. Attack! She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose though, so I might as well try something different. Maybe I spread out my forces and try to control more territories. I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyways. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump the fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay, says Misha. There's no need to translate that, it was perfectly clear. Don't look so sad, Hichan. You really given it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough though. If A1 knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Hichan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Shichan is impressed. The mark of great people is that they are daring and they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great? That isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There is no point in potential if you don't take the first step, and there's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. I would show you more, but I'm sorry, we're trying to go for a different girl. Shizune leans forward, still looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start. Would you like to join the student council? I don't wanya. Oh, spending time with Shizune doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about things. Maybe I'll get back on it. No, we're not dating either of you. Okay. But I hope you're not saying that just so we don't feel bad. Not really. No, really. Really? Really. If you're gonna say it, if you're gonna say that, you're really saying it. It's definitely the truth, and there isn't any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune, oh, it's cute. Shizune smiles in a mischievous way that looks like twisting a knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, gotta go. To the library. The library! Oh, then we meet Lily. Hi, Lily. We'll go for you later, Lily. You're next, I promise. Is that not okay? Can I not say I'm gonna do you next after this next girlfriend? After I toss her aside like a sack of bricks, I'll go for you. Alright. This was not the correct answer last time, so... Sorry. Purple-haired girl. Whoever this is. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. Do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. I take the seat next to her and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. You uncultured swine! So, sorry for starting again. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We're in the same class. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it's barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think my delinquent impression of her was wrong. I honestly don't know where we got that from. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name. just to say something to say, but really, it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind, and maybe I'll check you out too. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I tried to read the covers and the introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Probably is how no one can see those terribly debilitating burns all over the... Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander in her direction. I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and her breasts. Yeah, we're going for Hanako. I may be taking some liberties in reading it, Janice. After a while, I realize she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in life of Pi, and she's checking me out. I find her checking out my sweet hot bod. No, that's what it says, I swear. Her gaze is so inquisitive is not inquisitive at all. It darts around like a scared rabbit. That's what Janice does. Yeah. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. You? Me! I've got to go do something. Without a warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard I don't manage to go after her until she had a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are chatting away, and I think we are good now. Awesome. Oh, I was just looking for some books. She got into this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of is that I might have looked at her. God. You asshole. Well, she's a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think. She's not accustomed to talking to people. Isn't that strange? Yeah. It's almost like, she has like horrible scars over her body. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe it's just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems or else they wouldn't be here. But how can I deal with these people? These people. Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I'm supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Ugh. Oh yeah, Janice, look, it's Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter.
Yeah, see, he's Harry Potter. But he's insane, crazy dude. She was totally cute, though. Totally cute. Bum bum ba-da-da-da, bop bop ba-da-da-da. Ugh. Who's that freak with the burn scars? I want to... Okay, I'm gonna save right here because I think this is importante. We'll just make a new save. Manly picnic. What's a manly picnic? Well, we can obviously want to talk to Hanako. I feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so I better go say something. Hey there, Hanako. Hisao. At least he remembers my name. Hey, I want to apologize for yesterday. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I'm just new here and I thought I should get to know my classmates. As Hanako looks at me, I notice her scarring once more. No guide today. We're doing it without the guide. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from close up that she has terrible burn scars all over that face. It was my fault. Nah, it wasn't anyone's fault. It just kind of happened. So you waiting for someone? I saw you looking out the door. Oh, wait, right. Okay. We meet our friend. There's a freak. Look at the freak with no legs. Bah, 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 bah. Hey, look, there's a freak with no arms. Rin's music is fun. I really like Rin's music, even though Rin's boring. Sorry, Rin. At least your music's really fun. No, maybe. We're not exercising anymore. Exercising gets us to the Beth waifu, and we don't want her. He gives me a nasty sort of look when I say maybe, making me try to take back the word. I mean, I don't know. I might have other girls to spend time with. I'll promise to try, though. You're not being very convincing here, Hisao. Remember tip number 1, medical professionals are not amused if you take their advice lightly. What's up with him? As if a day or two would make that much of a difference? I didn't do anything at the hospital either. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. He studies me for a moment, then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning to meet my spy. See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer. I walk to Rin, who's been waiting idly. We go to get Rin's painting stuff, and she paints with her feet. Aw, look at Rin, painting paints. Seems stupid to wake up early, but I suppose this way at least I can tell the nurse honestly I've been doing something about my health. Not that I ever was much of a runner to begin with. I can't hurt to try, I guess. There's Best the girl. I don't remember if there's any particular form for running, but I can't help but feel like I'm doing it wrong somehow. I feel awkward in comparison to Emmy, who never seems to break stride. I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps today and slowed to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is that you started, right? Next time, you just have to try and hold out longer, then longer and longer. Eventually, you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I notice she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Sal. See ya. Apart from feeling more tired than before, I don't think I accomplished anything today. I'm still out of shape. It's embarrassing. The whole thing might have been a waste of time. I'll find some other way to not die. Ugh. Kenji. Ugh. Oh yeah, it's their fight. Okay. We are siding with we're siding with Lily. I'm the new guy, remember? Yeah, we're siding with Lily, so that way we can go hang out with her later and do the painting stuff with her and Hanako, with Hanako and Lily. Yeah, painting. Yeah, Hanako and Lily painting. I'm a leaf on the wind. I'm feeling tired, so I set my alarm to wake up as late as I could afford while still making it to the first class. The nurse's voice is almost nagging in the back of my head about morning jogs. I make a resolution to make up for it by going for a walk after school tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it, though. Emmy won't care either way, I bet. Oh, Emmy. Emmy, I'm so sorry for abandoning you. I bet she does care. Wake up, take a hot shower. Back in my room, the first thing I see is a familiar row of medication bottles lined up in the top of my dresser. It makes me depressed, as usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before for months. It seems like it's time to get it over with. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That's how I'll rationalize it. Down the usual handful of pills, trying to push this sudden dreary feeling out of my head, then I prepare to head out to class early as usual. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji. Don't talk to Kenji. Wasn't shopping visiting the math teacher? I figured it'd be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So what's in the bag? What's in the box? I thought I'd go shopping when I was outside and need supplies to continue to fight against whammon. Okay. Thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. What is wrong with Kenji? An awkward silence settles between us, and Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets it back down inside his room and closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just want to know when the next test was. I'm still gonna take it. Duh. I need to know so I need to know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone. So I had to step out and check up on it. And why do you have to go out when you can get it by phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones. I have no phone. Kenji, why are you so weird? I don't like phones. When I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories about it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it. Beaten in the head. Probably. Where else could I have been beaten with a phone that could make me unable to remember? The ass? Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. I bet Kenji and the librarian were banging. Librarian said that she dated a younger guy, didn't she? I bet they were banging. Class is gonna start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, need some lip balm? I accidentally brought 2 because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. I really don't care about Kenji. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces now, though their names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. This is different old stuff for sure. Festival stuff. Hisao! She caught me. I'm gonna make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunch boxes and the privilege of enjoying them in private with 2 bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in a hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Quite the bombshell. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as though in an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing her very modest chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? You stood there looking very lost and sad, and I thought you could use some company. So last time, we got a heart attack and Emmy felt guilty about it, so she invited us up. Now, she's doing it because she wanna bang. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer with pleasure. No, I don't wanna. I wanna have lunch with Lily and Hanako. That's where we eat lunch. If I don't get up there, she'll probably wander off, then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs lunch for herself. Who will? My friend. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. Emmy. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. It's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Oh, you ran at lunch and forgot to eat her lunch. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated. Once again, I love the word dilapidated. Dun 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 dun. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food, and eating out of my eating out for my entire stay here. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. New stuff! After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The color of her hair and tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the sound of my voice as she does. Hisao? That's me. She seems to have a good memory of voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again I reply in kind before realizing I didn't need to. Just going to town. You? My, what a coincidence. I was going back to my room. I hope I'm going the right way, says Lily. Oh, Lily. Your room's back that way, Lily. Doing the same thing? No, I'm just looking for the bathroom. I think it's around the corner right here. I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes to town with me. Not lost, but worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. Quietly quiet. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereft of cars and students of Yamaku increasingly behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and a measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I knew it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escaped before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring to a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a tizzy, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but give her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamaku's kind of different. I mean, the formalities surrounding everything, the isolation of it, not to mention the freaks. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it, though, in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess is a good take on it. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speak up about something else. So where in town are you going? That's actually a good question. I come to buy food, but the layout of the place is still very foreign to me. I'd intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with the sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that wouldn't be very wise. I'm gonna have to ask her for directions. She's blind. Well, you want to go down there about... I don't know what feet are. I'm blind. Go about that way until you hear a creak, and then make a right until you hear 3 cats. Then an old man will yell at you. That's when you're getting too far. Turn around and walk until you stop hearing him yell. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way. Well, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to a convenience store myself. Looks like I'm in your care then. Thanks. Together as we walk to the store, my pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. I wonder why. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I caught sight of our objective. I wonder if Lily saw it too. Without further ado, we made our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here... It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Oh, right, because you're poor? Oh, blind, sorry. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she had this idea since I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. Oh. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane, and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it back up in her right hand. Wait, she doesn't use her cane. Hand on the shoulder. Oh, before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuffs of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a bombshell babe, even if it's out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from here must be entirely normal for the local residents, and they did say she goes down here like every Friday with one burn girl and one blind girl. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread. And the shopping will be done. Do you need anything else here? This is a dating sim. This is Katawa Shoujo. Nope, that should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our food and we're out of the store. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I tried to make clouds with my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Why would you try to make clouds with your breath in the summer heat? Seems like such a stupid thing to do. What are you doing? It's like 90 degrees outside. I don't know, I was just trying to see my breath. Lily, can you see my breath? Oh my god, right, you're blind! Eventually she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my 2. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. She's saying breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, maybe she's just trying to see her breath on your neck. Better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I've guessed the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what? I notice a very distinctive figure make its way towards us. It's Slender Man! For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her immediately. Rin, what are you doing out so late? It's like the opposite of Slender Man. There's no arm tentacles. Rin? Lily perks her head, looking as if she's trying to focus on something more keenly. It suddenly comes to me I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin Tezuka. I think that's her last name. It's a hash-slinging slasher. It's slash-slinging, hash-slinging slasher for her. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin too. Lily knows everybody, right? Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge if she does. She looks like a zombie or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to lighten her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoughtfully. Hello. There's an awkward pause. Everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering that myself too. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either, I asked. That's why I'm wondering. Rin's a little funky. She's just a little eccentric artist. She's missing an arm. No. She got a 2-for-1 deal on missing arms. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. They were going that way. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went as if that was important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need to be said. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. Rin is really into finger painting. Yeah, it's both arms. It's okay. She's best friends with the girl with no legs. It makes sense. Together they make 1.5 people.
Why are you so awful?
Look, honey, it's a fact that if you take one person with no legs and add them with another person with no arms together, that is 1.5 people. Which means that whenever they go out on to anything like an all-you-can-eat restaurant or like going to amusement park, they only need to buy 1.5 tickets between the two of them. It's money saving. I think that both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression in her blank face. How'll she tie her tie? She has a friend tie her tie. Come on. That is how tickets work, Asian. Like, if I were gonna ride a roller coaster and I was missing one arm, they need to give me a 10% discount because I'm only 90% of a person. And just like if you went through a difficult breakup and a woman rips your heart out, you should get a 75% discount because you're barely even a human anymore. As if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in the veins in the place of blood. So relaxed. Do you have amnesia, the Dark Descent? I don't recall you having anything of this sort. No, I don't think it's that. I think she's just a little airheaded. The other passerbys are probably just worried, though. You do look really lost, the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Can you point to me which way you wanted to go? Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. I wonder for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decide on the latter. It seems that most of the time it's better to not read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said, even when I win, I lose. Is this the power of Ultra Instinct? I push the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-famale propaganda, trying to get me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyways, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress, at least. Lily sounds as she spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there is some. Definitely, the rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have, for reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. Rin, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances aside, what should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are. But it's late, and I don't think I will be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will unless she manages to remember what she's doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you're going somewhere and not going back to school? Her eyes widen in shock as she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. Why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. Oh, that's a weird expression. It's just an educated guess. Elementary, my dear Watson. We walked in the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh, she looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. You know, it's the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. That's right, make fun of Rin. Really ruin Katsu's number 3 choice. Mind reading's always a disability. You have it's mind reading's disability, and then flying is dad ability. Maybe you should have come with us back to the school. Maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects as if I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusions I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyways. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Rin considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Rin walks towards the edge of the sidewalk in her rhythmic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Ah, it's gonna be she taps and steps in. One, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. What am I thinking of? What's that sequence? The golden ratio? 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. Oh well. Yeah, Fibonacci. She taps in Fibonacci. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. A quiet apart for the relaxing one into town. So, how's the mural going? We're gonna get bad luck. Never talk about work in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure Lily will really appreciate your painting. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top of it is surprisingly steep going uphill. We slowed the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Maybe I should have worked out with Emmy. More than that, though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder, interpreting as a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she is going to bring it up, but goes for it anyways. Is everything all right? What do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. You seem unusually tired, I guess. Now she brings up, I notice my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Yeah, new options! I'm not in very good condition. It's alright, just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh, is that something related to why you're here? Is that why you're disabled? Because you're a weak boy? She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realizing she's a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you look fairly healthy, so I naturally thought. Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. Being a fat boy and only playing video games all day is our disability. Janice, you seem really happy about that one.
When was the last time you worked out?
Well, Janice, we went outside today. We walked out to the car. Then we drove the car out to the store. We walked around the store. We got food and we came home. So I worked outside. As she furrowed her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her own comfort about such things. I don't know how she can hide her blindness. No, it's okay. I have a pretty, I guess the best way to put it would be messed up heart arrhythmia. Solaris will save some dessert for you if he makes some. Well, good. Mail it our way. You know how to mail it to me now. More Sammys? More Sammys, Janice? Go make more Sammys. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because of it and spent most of the spring in the hospital, ended in Yabaku on doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even more further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I had the exact same reaction. To my surprise, in a moment's time, her face shows that she comes to some sort of realization. Wait, it's the time when Emmy and you collided in the hallway? I grimaced slightly. Her ability to connect dots quite so fast is unexpected. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running in the corridor exist. That was a lot more dry than I intended. Lily visibly shies away from continuing the topic. While I do want to assuage her concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realize the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly, but doesn't say anything further. Maybe Lily is the mind reader. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of her mural as if lightning struck her. She had been so quiet for almost all the walk back, I had forgotten she was there. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, 8th of June. That's my birthday. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go to the fetal position and throw up, possibly in reverse order. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. It's Friday and nothing is wrong yet. This mural, it's going to need to be finished by Sunday, so everything's all right. Do you have any drugs? Or a time machine? It is not good, not good. So she's behind her schedule. Recalling Shizune's expression at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She has left herself open for a told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look at me as I roll my eyes, but then I realize she can't see anything. Leave me. We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There is a turning. We are off at Emmy, so we know we're off at Emmy, but I don't know if we're on anyone else yet. We're definitely off, or we're off Emmy and we are off Shizune. I think so. We are on Hanako, Rin, Lily. There's a turning feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack of making people worried about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone. She sounds like she is going into shock or something. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's just, how do you say, eccentric. Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, very unique. Janice, make me a sandwich. Thanks, honey. I love you. She giggles at the notion melodiously, nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So my guess is right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings had prevented her from coming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. I imagine she's as exhausted as I am. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for your company. I don't know if I agree that Rin is awesome. Rin is special. She's different. Rin is a handful. She smiles very sweetly at me. It feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. Rin is unique. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'd say, but that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin, maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. I will. Good night. Bum 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 bum. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who had worked through the night. Ah, this is familiar. Mutuo stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he is trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. So, how are things? Things? I expected Mutuo to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits. You know, things. You've had a week to settle in, so how are things? Fine, I guess. And how's your condition? Carmack's condition. The pause before condition seems a little unnecessary. Haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Mutuo's face. Good, good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might have been pushing yourself a bit too hard. No, don't worry, I haven't even worked out at all. He asked me to keep an eye on you when you couldn't. That makes sense. I'd ask that you don't blow us off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you should get at normal school, you have to realize that you have limits. Our goal is to make sure you know where those limits are and how to maximize your potential within them. You follow? I mean, I guess. Well, that's smart, I guess. So then, into my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. Oh, no. You misunderstood me. I said I was trying to get laid. I don't really think so. I tried to keep up while I was in hospital, so I haven't been too hard, or it wasn't too hard. Yeah. Bum, bum. She's reading her book. It wasn't the one I saw in the library. But why would Lily leave her to her own devices? It seems to be quite out of the ordinary, going by Hanako's reaction. That's right, I think Lily mentioned something about going into town today before Rin bumped into us. The thought of that walk makes me look outside. The bright sun, occasional people wandering around and enjoying the afternoon makes me yearn to get out of school, or at least do something other than sit here. Giving in to one of my worst vices, procrastination, I understand. I decide that history is a subject best studied on a Sunday, or a Monday, or an 80-day other than this one. It's not like history is going to change. I give a grunt as I lever myself out of my seat, briefly debating with myself whether or not to hang out with Kenji. Don't. He doesn't strike me as the enjoying the nice weather outside with others kind of person. Really, I guess I'll catch up with him later. Blaze! There's our kitty. Changing tacks, I briefly entertain the idea of talking with Hanako, but by the time I look at her, seat is vacant. She must have left for the library. There's got to be something I can do to kill the time. Okay, save, new save, continue. Let's go with Hanako. The library seems like a good place as they need to go. Hanako looked as if she was taken pretty off guard by Lily leaving, so she might want someone to talk to. Slinging my bag over my shoulder, I make my way out to the classroom. I walk down the hallway to the library, past a multitude of closed doors. Through each one, the sound of furious rehearsal can be heard. Rock music blares out one door almost as loud as a concert. I guess, yeah, I mean, that's got to be Lily versus Hanako, although I'm not sure how you'd get onto Rin route, but let's be honest, who cares? There are actually enough rooms to go around at a time like this. When I think about it, the grounds and the buildings of the school are kept in pretty good condition. That can't be too cheap. I imagine, no, I guess we didn't have a good time to jump off of Emmy and onto Rin. I don't know how you get on Rin. The grounds of the buildings, the school, yeah. I've heard that this place is pretty serious benefactors. The walls of the library only partially insulate the noise of the festival preparations, but they are the only sounds to be heard. Not a soul stirs here, with everyone apparently enjoying the weather outside or working on festival events. Yuko isn't here either. Maybe she doesn't work on Saturdays. Maybe she works at a a tea house on Saturdays. I quietly walk through the library, now fairly familiar with its layout. I head to the back where Hanako's private little corner is. I run my hand along the spines of the books on the way through, feeling an individual texture of each as I glance through the titles. I used to do this all the time at the library at the hospital. Some things never change, I guess. Like the smell of a library, no matter how much care you take, the paper in books is always going to degrade with time. Probably no matter which library you go into, anywhere in the world, it must have the same musty smell. I find something that looks light enough to read without any major thought involved, then look for Hanako in the reading area. Fun fact, the smell of old books, that's actually the smell of a particular type of mold that happens to grow on paper.
Oh no.
Well, cat just threw up on the carpet. Blaze! Blaze!
Wait.
Why have you done this? Is it stinky? Is this stinky cat vomit right behind us? Thanks, Blaze. Why are you running away? Why have you abandoned me with a cat vomit?
I'm sorry, I just cannot.
Here, throw Blaze outside and give me a napkin and I'll help you clean up.
Please, come here.
Get him out of here. I know, Blaze. I often find people with debilitating burn scars disgusting, but I'm at least polite enough not to vomit in front of them. I vomit in the bathrooms after I talk to them. I find something that looks light enough to read without any major thought involved and look for Hanako. Once again, she's sitting on a beanbag with her back to a bookshelf, reading the same book she had in the classroom. She's slowly making her way through the pages. Unlike last time I saw her here, I quietly take a seat on a beanbag. The noise is enough to catch her attention but not startle her. This delicate routine that must be followed each day, each and every time I try to talk to her, almost feels like hunting game. Is that the same book as before? Yes, I'm almost finished. Cool. Cool. Do you mind if I borrow it when you're finished? My mouth is faster than my mind, it seems. Sure, you may not like it, but I'm sure it can't be that bad. After all, you stuck with it, haven't you? I guess. I settle onto my beanbag and set up about reading my own book that had been buried in my bag. It's a light novel about pirates. To be honest, I'm barely skimming over the words, having chosen the book merely because of its author, Oda. Finding it hard to muster enough enthusiasm to finish the book and noting that I've inadvertently distracted Hanako quite a bit, I decide to make conversation. So I see Lily's left without you. She nods before taking her eyes off her book. She must have been really into it after all. Lily said she had to go and meet someone. Oh? Akira, her sister. Oh my god. Sister? Akira. I hadn't heard her talk about her family. She and Akira used to live together. I thought all the students lived in dorms. I mean, we don't have to. But it's easier, right? I mean, there's food here, you're close to school. I don't think I've ever been on class on time so often in my life. Her badly hidden smile proves quite rewarding. In the back of my mind, I know I have a bit of homework to catch up on, but it's quite comfortable in here. No one can find me and force me to working for their pet project either. Now, though, I'm thinking about the festival. Another question comes to mind. Hey, Hanako, what are you doing for the festival? Oh. You already got the gist, the most of it. How you holding up?
I have to hold my breath in here.
You have to hold your breath, and here I am sitting here with a cat vomit behind me. It's okay. We'll just burn the carpet later. For a split second, I think Hanako's about to throw her book in the air from shock. Sorry? I was just asking what you're doing for a festival tomorrow. Would you like to go with me? I don't know. Hanako answers in a way that people do when they don't want you to ask any more questions. I take it large crowds and loud music aren't really her thing. Oh, okay. Change the subject. So what's Lily's sister like? She hot? She's single? She's nice. She's pretty like Lily, but she dresses businesslike. Businesslike? She's always wearing a suit. Ah, I see. Nothing suits her like a suit. Hanako gives an embarrassed shake of her head. No, just different. I admit it, this got me intrigued to hear Hanako talk about someone other than Lily as a first, and to be complimentary about it too. But as I try to picture this mystery sister, all I can think of is Lily in a suit, and I can't imagine that not being attractive. Well, one day you'll have to introduce me to her. Okay. Our brief conversation ends as abruptly as it started, and we both return to our novels. The passage of time is marked only by the gradual movement of the people of light, the patch of light through the windows. Slowly, the noises from the various rehearsals in the buildings fade out and die as students start to get hungry and tired. Just thinking about that makes my stomach start to turn knots around itself. I think it's time to head back. Do you think Lily will be back by now? I think I might head back to my dorm. I'm pretty tired from this week. And not a word of that is a lie. Moving to a new school as it ramps up of a major event have been taxing, to say the least. I can feel myself nodding off as I read my book. Okay, I might stay here a little longer. Looking at Hanako's book, I see that she is only a few pages away from completing it. For a moment, I consider hanging around until she finishes, but once again, my stomach turns, emitting a gurgling sound. Sure thing. Well, I'm gonna head off before it gets dark. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, see you, Hisao. Later. Hisao? Thank you for hanging out with me. I could see how hard it was for her to get that simple sentence out of her mouth. It leaves me hanging for a moment. So, there's someone in this school who's even lonelier than me. Maybe lonely is a wrong word. I haven't been lacking company for this first week, but I still managed to feel somewhat alone and detached. Maybe lonely is a wrong word for Hanako too. She has Lily after all, doesn't she? I realize I've been standing there for far too long without answering and pull off a flawless, not exaggerated smile. You're welcome. Good night, Hanako. Night. I leave her to finish her book and head back to the dorms and the promise of food. Good night.